share a couple pictures with you guys, and hopefully it'll be encouraging. I was dropping somebody off. Actually, I think I was picking somebody up from LAX not too long ago. And it was so funny because when I was there, I was getting this super funny picture because I have a lot of friends that are visiting from Sweden or just visiting from other places. And it's so amazing to watch somebody from another country just kind of interacting with the culture that's here. And I was getting this picture of somebody walking through, it was like Watts or Compton or something like that. And it was just the total ghetto. And I was seeing this person walking through, and it was like they had a smile on their face like, wow, this is really interesting. And I could totally relate and see some of my friends in that situation. That's exactly how they would be. They'd be like, oh, this is interesting. And just kind of with a smile on their face, like, wow, people live like this. And it was like, it wasn't that they didn't have compassion for people, but it wasn't where they lived. So they were just kind of taking in kind of what was going on. And as I was seeing this picture, I was waiting for my, somebody to pick up from the airport. God was saying, that's how it is. That's kind of the mindset as a citizen of heaven. And in 1 Peter and Hebrews and multiple other places in the New Testament where it's talking about we're citizens of heaven, we're sojourners. And it was so cool because God was just speaking to me through this picture. He's saying, I'm freeing you from the mentality that you need to come in and rescue people and save people and change their circumstances to where instead you're coming into the place that people are living, the place that people are calling their home, and you're inviting them into this kingdom. You're inviting them to this new home through faith in Jesus, that they can enter into this place to where they can find what they've been longing and looking for in the presence of their Father. And I thought, God, that is such a cool picture. And I've been wanting to do a video on it, but it just hasn't happened because other stuff's been coming up, like with my whole breakdancing career, and all that other stuff keeps me so busy. Just kidding. So, hey, don't get crazy or weird. So anyways, a couple nights ago, I felt like God gave me this other picture that really tied it together. And I felt like God was saying, hey, wait, because I want to show you, I want to give you a further revelation on this thing that I'm saying. So the other night we were praying, and I was getting this picture of, the best way to describe it was the throne room. I was seeing the presence of the Father. I was seeing all of these people that were there that were just in awe and in worship of God. And I felt like God said the most interesting thing. He said, I want you to picture all of the people that aren't here. And I thought, oh man, God, that's sad. All of the people that you've invited, but they're not here. And I got this picture of these people that were out farming. And it reminded me of Genesis, where it says, part of the curse of men is we're going to toil over the earth to provide for ourselves. And I could see being sent out to these people to where I was inviting them. I was saying, hey, you don't need to toil over the land. You really can trust Jesus with your provision. You really can trust Jesus with all of these things that's keeping you bound to this world. There's this home, there's this place that God's made for you in His presence. And I've done a video recently where I was sharing in the Gospels where Jesus says, we can't enter into the kingdom unless we become like children. That word kingdom isn't heaven. It's not when we die and go to heaven. It's this place in Ephesians where it says we're seated in the heavenlies with Christ. This place that's available, like it talks about in Hebrews 10, that we can boldly enter into the presence of our Father, but it comes through simple, humble faith in Jesus. And instead of entering into people's situations and saying, okay, let me help fix your situation or change your situation or make your home more comfortable, it was like, no. Trust Jesus with this worldly mindset that you can enter into this supernatural mindset to where you might enter into the presence of your Father and find the things that you've been longing and looking for there. And I thought, man, God, that is such a cool perspective, and that's such a cool picture as citizens of heaven. But the interesting thing that happened as I was getting this picture, I was seeing that God's presence, the throne room, was actually transforming into the Garden of Eden. And I thought, man, what am I seeing, God? And like I said, it kind of tied together with Genesis. And I felt like God was saying, can't you see what I did through sending my Son? As people are putting their faith in my Son, they're entering back into the original intention, into the original relationship that I created humanity to have. And it reminds me where it says Adam walked with God in the cool of the day. And I felt like what hasn't been available to us, that intimacy with God because of our sin, and just because of all of the struggle, the fallen nature of humanity, Jesus has restored to us. And as he's inviting us, hey, just trust me, put your faith in me, we find ourselves entering in to this presence, or this relationship, into the presence with our Father. And I felt like God was really saying, that's what I'm developing within the body as citizens of heaven. They're not tied to the things of this world, and they're finding their identity, they're finding their love, they're finding the tools that I'm equipping, the works that I've equipped them to walk in, as I'm sending them out, not to fix things, but to invite people into my presence, where they would find that security, that safety, and that love that they've been longing and looking for. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.